Hello everyone, this is Chris with an X. How's everyone doing tonight? Today we'll be going over loops. You might be asking, what are loops? Loops are a way for us to repeat a command or a block of commands as long as they meet our criteria. An example would be like the sum function in Excel. In a way. You are adding the value of the previous value to the current value until you reach the end of the area you want to add up. We don't have a lot of time. Let's get right into it. I'll be talking a little fast, so heads up. To start off, we have two different types of loops. We got a while and a for loop. I'll be going over both. First off, if I can scroll correctly. First off, I'll be going over the while loop. The method I'll be using today is called read value at pixel I. So what I'll be doing is I'll be grabbing a picture from Java, from my library, having Java print out all the red values for each pixel until we reach the value of X. So with all my methods, I always start off with setting the variables here. This is not required. I just have a personal preference here for this. The next part, completely ignore. This is something I might create another video for later. This is just so I can input variables outside of my method. So going on to the actual formatting of the while loop. So in the book it says while is the command or the method. Or is the loop, the type of loop, while, and then we'll have a Boolean expression. I also like calling it our parameters or our continuation test. So in this case, I have I has to be less than X. We will be inputting X. So inside a loop, we'll have our method, especially in a while loop. We'll have our method. So in my case, I'll be grabbing the red value from the pixel and printing out a sentence giving us that value. The important thing about a while loop compared to a for loop is that you have to put in your increments inside the loop. So in my case, I said I is equal to I plus 1. So after this all runs, it'll increase the I value by 1. Why is this important? Because eventually you want it to get to X. Jumping right into the execution, be warned I do use macros. So I'm going to go pick up my image right now, if I can find it. I'm going to create a new picture object, and I'm going to show it to you. Here's my dog Jeep. Now I'm going to run the while function, and I'm going to say, you want to count to what number? I'm going to say, I want the first 5 pixels. So it's going to print out for me here. I'm on the first 5 pixels. So going over here to my picture, we see that we got an R value of 42, 35, 34, 34, 34, and then our last pixel should be 30. So this is how I'm able to check what every single pixel is, and in my case, I wanted it printed out. If I had to do this individually, it would take forever. Now getting on to the more complex one. This is our other method, which I'll be using a nesting and a loop. So, sorry. Again, ignore the scanner class for now. In this part of the video, we'll be going over the for loop as well as nesting. A nesting loop is where we put within a loop a secondary loop to execute within the initial loop. I know, it's confusing. In my personal case here, down here, we'll be running across this way for our method. So it'll be reading this way before running this way, and then be running across again. So it'll be running Y first, then X. And we'll be doing it in increments of 1. So the big distinction between fors and whiles is that with for, for example, we have all our parameters right here, always. And they're always divided up by a semicolon. big important thing. Do not forget this. So going over in the book again, we have our for, our initialized area. So in my case, it's our int x, our starting x is equal to the start x. Our continuation test is saying, I want you from the starting x to continue all the way to the end x. And then our change area is like before I said, which is our increments. So when you do loops, especially with nesting, you're always going to have to put within the loop another loop like this. So, and then within that loop again, like any other method or block of commands, we want to put our actual method. So in my case, I have the color values. I'm doing a grayscale, so I'm executing the grayscale equation and then setting those values. Now, I'm going to run this really quickly, so bear with me. I'm going to go grab my picture. Running out of time. There's my first picture of my dog again. And I'm going to run this one. So now, going over it, we're going to say, we're going to have our start value of around 50 here. So I'm going to say 50. I'm going to say my y-axis start is going to be 100. I'm going to put 200, then 125. And every time you saw here in my loop, I had it execute saying, you've entered X, you entered Y. And so that's up in my scanner. Ignore this for right now. And now I'm going to show you my picture. Now you can see, bad. Here, that my little method here created in this area that we specifically specified as our start and end to have our specific method executed, which is my grayscale. The thing about nesting also is that this will continue on until both loops have been fulfilled. Thank you all for watching. Sorry for the quick video and the long one. Thank you again for everything. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day and stay sane. Bye.